I wasn't expecting to make a video today, but Games Workshop have gone and dropped their Book of the Year as voted for by us. Yes, us, the readers. So let's take a quick look at who won and who came where. It'll come as no surprise to you that I am a huge fan of Games Workshop's lore. Everything from the Black Library I think is absolutely brilliant. Yes, it's not the greatest writing in the world, but it is entertaining. And I've got everything from the Horus Heresy series through to some classics and the Primarch books. All kinds of stuff. Really, really cool. Anyway, let's jump in to the Book of the Year that we voted for as readers. Games Workshop presents this list as a kind of top 10, so I'm just going to read through as they've presented it the first half of the list, so the first 7. So, what have we got? We have got Cypher, Lord of the Fallen, Genefather, Vainglorious, The End and the Death Volume 1, and this is not going to be the only Horus Heresy End of the Death book that's going to appear in this list, because it's no surprise that it appears throughout. The Fall of Cadia, War Boss, that is what I voted for personally myself, and Cyphers Kane, the Anthology, which isn't a surprise that that's in there. So that's 10-4, and the thing that really stands out to me, but actually before we go to it, let's do the top 3 as well. The top 3, we have The End and the Death Volume 2, End and the Death Volume 3, and number 1 is The Lion, Son of the Forest. Now, what does this list mean to me personally when I look at it? Well, it's got, obviously, we knew that the last 3 books of the Horus Heresy were going to be in there. The End of the Death Part 1, 2 and 3. There was really no other way that this list was going to go. It's interesting that they take up 2 of the top 3 spots as well. Also, most of the books are books that push the plot forward, and that really surprises me in some ways, as I thought some of the more standalone books that tell just an interesting story may have been in there. I'm really pleased that War Boss was in there because I voted for that personally, but then I'm a huge Ork fan, so I would. But overall, it does seem if you push the Warhammer 40,000 plot forward, then you're on the list. As to the number 1 spot going to The Lion, I'm not that surprised. Well, I'm surprised it's number 1. I'm not surprised it's high up. And that's because people seem to have really resonated with the Lion's return. And I don't know why in some ways, because he seems to have had more of an impact on the Warhammer fandom than when Guilliman returned. But people have really loved the return of the Lion. They've loved his model, and so I'm not surprised that they've loved his book as well. Maybe it's the secrecy that surrounds him. He's a much more mysterious character, a much more layered character than what Guilliman is. So maybe that is what has led to his surge in popularity. Overall, I think that this list is exactly what one would expect, really. It's got the End of the Horus Heresy in it, it's got the Lion in it, and it's got some Cyphers Kane in it, which everyone loves. Everyone loves the human's perspective, the unique perspective of a Warhammer 40,000 universe that comes from an ordinary person rather than a space marine. And overall, the list is not what I wouldn't expect, really. It's exactly as I would expect. It was nice to have a Xenos book in there with War Boss. I'm surprised that none of the Necron books made it in. Although, was the Infinite and Divine last year? I can't remember now, whether that may have been the year before. But I am surprised there aren't a few more Xenos books in there. But overall, I think it's a great list. It's obviously what the people have voted for, and it's what I expected. It'll be interesting to see how it comes along next year when we don't have the Horus Heresy books in there. But what did you vote for? I voted for War Boss. Let me know down in the comments what you think of the list, And has Black Library got it right?